Well, hello everybody. This is Mr. O, and today's three-part lesson is going to be over bubble letters and using gel pens to make designs. And let me show you some basic examples. Of course, you'll see hi, and our project is going to look like this. Yours is probably going to look a little different, just depending on the type of gel pens you use. And so there's different ways. I want to show you all the different examples, different in size, different in design, and I'm going to show you some other ways of doing it, probably in lesson 2 versus lesson 1, because lesson 1 is just about learning how to do bubble letters. And just like these students, it takes a little practice, at least a day or 2 days of practice. And when I say a day, I mean like a 45-minute time frame of practice, could be up to an hour. And just because maybe you struggle more, maybe this is the thing you struggle more, it might just take you a little longer. And don't worry if it does. All you need for today is paper. Copy paper is just fine, doesn't have to be drawing paper. A pencil, and I use Ticonderoga. I find them easy to erase, but you know the regular Dixons are just as nice, and of course I have a kneaded eraser. That's those stretchy erasers that are pretty neat and cool. So I always have that on hand if I make a major mistake. So let's get started. I'm just going to do some basic letters, ones that I know students have always asked me to demonstrate. And I am going to actually show you 2 different ways of doing bubble letters. Now, what's the point of learning how to do bubble letters? 1, I think it teaches you motor skills, control. 2, let's say you're not really an art person, you love art, but it's not really your thing. Most likely, if you're younger, in school, you're going to do lots of projects, whether in social studies class, whether it's in an advanced program, and you got to do presentation boards. And it's very nice to be able to do these. Now watch this lowercase a. I start off with a C, and then I make basically a little tail at the end. Make another C. And the key to bubble letters, keeping your thickness as close as you can. Okay, you can see I'm a little thicker here, and it looks a little off that way. Just take your time. See each thing in different parts. So this is the letter P. Lowercase. As you can see, almost the same way as I did the uppercase. I'm trying to keep the thickness exactly the same. Now, you're going to be wanting me to maybe do every letter, and that would be a very long video. So if you are interested, in the comments, just ask if I would do a time-lapse video, and I'll do the whole alphabet and maybe some numbers. All right, let's do the letter G. Now this is where G gets a little difficult. Now, for this project, could you do block letters? Could you just take a ruler? And yes, you can, and you can even do 3D letters. But when you do the line design, it gets a little more complicated. And that's what I'm trying to avoid for you, is we just like, especially when we're learning, just keep things nice and easy. If you are a 20-something-year-old, a 30-something-year-old, a 40-something-year-old, this is a nice project, especially if you like the adult coloring books. This is nice, calming, doesn't have a lot of stress to it. It's just, you just need a little bit of patience. And I want you to see how I did that M. Notice how I kept it tight, and I did not bring the bottom part of the M, the connecting part, the little hoop there, all the way down. When I do that, I seem to spread the M out, and the same thing with the W. So if you reverse that, you have your W, and the lower cases are the same way. Another big letter that people struggle with is Y. And let me show you that. Think of a V, whether it's uppercase or lowercase. And lowercase, you notice how I start almost with a V? And you got your V there, and you just keep going. Now, I did say I would show you a different way of doing bubble letters if you really struggle. So let's just say you struggle. All right, I got the letter B there. Now, you can double line. And just add a little thickness in the middle and erase any line. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look as smooth. But if I just take the time and learn this and leave a little gaps, spread out your connectors, and you see what I just did there? You know I'm going to make an A. I can guess I did that a little differently than I was going to. I messed up on that one. Can we just like poof, cross out? I made a mistake. Let's try that again. All right, I need to make it a little smaller is what I need to do. And I go on the inside and I use it as a skeletal structure. And as you can see, there I go. And I erase. Now, why did I leave the little bit of gaps? Is because that way it doesn't keep the letter tight, and I can make it a little thicker. As you can see, since I don't do that way very often, I can easily make mistakes. Even as an artist, even if you've done it for 20 years, you make mistakes, and it's okay. You just move on. You don't need to cross it out. You just move on. Remember, you're just practicing. So for today's lesson, I want you to do the whole alphabet. Practice from A to Z, capital and lowercase. And the next lesson, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do with those letters. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. And most importantly, don't forget, you are loved. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.